Well, it looks like Vic Fangio has named his starting linebacker in replace of Nakobe Dean, and we're going to be talking about Kellen Moore possibly going back to the Dallas Cowboys, but as the new head coach after Mike McCarthy parted ways with the Dallas Cowboys. A lot to discuss here. Big divisional round this weekend and a lot going on. So let's get straight into it all.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is enjoying their work week. This video is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out. A lot to discuss here. Now, Vic Fangio had his press conference the other day. I wanted to get through the most important things. Talk about the Rams, obviously the matchup. We'll talk about the Rams in another day. But most importantly, it's linebacker. That's what we're really looking at right now with Nakobe Dean being out for 9 to 10 months, patellar torn tendon. I've known a couple people that have had this injury, and it's bad. It's probably one of the worst knee injuries you could have, because Nakobe Dean is either going to come back in 9 to 10 months the same player, or he's going to come back a totally different player, and it could ruin his career. This is one of those big knee injuries that you never want to get. And, I'm hoping that's not going to happen. It just really sucks that Dean has just been hurt every single year he's been here. Next year is his last year in Philadelphia. And to be honest with you, if he's out 10 months, he's probably not even going to play next year. Probably not even going to. Maybe by the end of the year, sure, if the Eagles have injuries, depending who they have set up at linebacker already, when he's already out. But this is a glaring thing now because Zach Baun isn't signed yet, which now you're hoping there's more incentive for that, which the video I made yesterday. But now it looks like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will be the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. Zach Baun will be the green dot. Okay, we'll be the green dot. We'll call all the plays at inside linebacker. We'll have control of the defense, and he's done it before. There's no worry about that. Fangio did talk about, obviously, is there a big change not having Nakobe Dean on the field? He said, yeah. I mean, it's a change, but, it's something they'll have to change. But, he feels really good about the guys they have in the room right now. And I don't think he's just saying that. I think he feels really good about Jeremiah Trotter Jr., okay? Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has been waiting for his moment, and this is his moment. The only issue I have is that we haven't seen much of him this year. Yeah, when the Eagles have been up in scores, he's been coming into some games, and he's actually done pretty well. He has flashed. He has done a really good job. I wish we had like a regular season game or two for him to play in before he got into the playoffs and just get thrown to a playoff game. But you know what? We're going to throw him into the fire. We're going to see what he could do. And, I think it'll be a really good thing. Obviously, he's going to have the whole week of practice with the ones. And I don't think he'll have a problem at all. I'm actually very excited to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in this defense. Now, Oren Burks was obviously a veteran player for us. Obviously, the forced fumble on kickoff yesterday. He's been a monster special teamer for us. I think his run support, Oren Burks, is really good. Now, when it comes to his pass defense, his coverage, it's really bad, guys. I think that's where we're going to be lacking if Oren Burks starts over Jeremiah Trotter Jr., deer in headlights, blown coverages in the defensive pass game, his coverage. It's just not good. It's really not good. He's done it a few times this year. Run support, downhill, physical, but man, when it comes to coverage, just can't do it. So it's nice to have a veteran in the lineup, but I feel more comfortable having Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Right now, starting, going forward, with this defense. And like I said, Nakobe Dean, just a fantastic year. Fangio couldn't have said it even better. He's had the best year. He's had a really good year. This was a promising, really good year. Okay, but to say that Jeremiah Jr. If Fangio says that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has a big future and his future may start now, it's a pretty good sign for things to come. Hopefully, okay. He's been eagerly wanting to play and finally gets his shot now on unfortunate events. So like I said, this bleeds into next year. What he does if the Eagles play the next, 3 weeks, okay, besides, the divisional round, and obviously if they play in the NFC Championship game, they get to the Super Bowl, and he plays these 3 games and he plays really well. I mean, there's going to be some questions next year, no doubt. I mean, I think he re-signed Zach Bond, and, Dean's going to be gone for a while. So someone's going to have to fill that role. They'll probably add more linebackers. Obviously, the offseason program, there'll be more bodies. Do they go out and draft one in the mid-rounds? We'll see what they do here. Because Nakobe Dean coming back from an injury like this, and then he's going to be like so out of it for the next month when he comes back because, he hasn't played. You think he's going to come back from this injury, get on the field and be perfectly normal and perfectly fine? No, he's going to have to build himself back up again. It's going to be a long, long thing for Nakobe Dean, man. So when you have these late ACLs, MCL, like you have these late injuries in December, January, you're pretty much like they're not playing the next year. You know what I mean? It's going to be too late for Nakobe Dean to, maybe come back, and they're going to have to. This position has to be figured out, for next season. They can't leave a spot open just because Dean is out. You know what I mean? It's going to have to be filled, and they're going to have to, he's going to have to earn his spot back, unfortunately, and that's where we're at in this situation with Nakobe Dean. But after losing Ben Van Simmeren to a knee injury in practice, I think it was the Ravens week. I think he ended up getting hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you've had some injuries there. So Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will most likely, from the quote that Fangio said, okay, it most likely will say that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will be starting in this game, and we're going to see what he's made of. Sometimes you throw these players in the fire, you just see how they react, you see how they do when the pressure's on them, when a lot is going to be on his plate, just being thrown into a full starter role. I think he's pumped for it. I think he's ready for it, and I think hopefully we're going to see some great things going forward for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And, we will see what happens with this entire situation. Keep a close lock on what's going on. Now, here is the news that I'm dreading to talk about, which is Kellen Moore. Okay, Kellen Moore, there's been rumors all over the place. Now, we know with the Dallas Cowboy fans are probably backtracking so fast right now because, what are you going to do with Kellen Moore in the playoffs? You'll see you'll see what he does to your team. And now they're backtracking. Mike McCarthy's not coming back to the Cowboys. The problem with the Dallas Cowboys when they hire, they always have to hire somebody they know or they've had relationships with or someone that they can control and someone that they like, that they need to hire. Deion Sanders. Now it's, Kellen Moore's name has been swirling around because realistically, the Lions DC is probably going to get a head coaching job, okay? Ben Johnson's going to get a coaching job. Joe Brady's going to get a coaching job. I mean, there's probably three or four offensive coordinators right now that are probably going to have head coaching jobs over Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's been trying to get a head coaching job pretty much since 2020, hasn't gotten one yet. He tried getting the Eagles job in 21, didn't work out, obviously. So, I mean, Kellen Moore's been really waiting for this moment. He was asked during the press conference about it, and he's just talked about his strong relationships in Dallas, which we know he has. We know there's already been rumors going around, and that Jones still has a strong relationship with Kellen Moore at this point, and I don't see why they don't have a strong relationship. I think he did an okay job over there. I just don't think they had the right talent, especially at quarterback. And it's been a top 10 offense 4 years straight, besides the last year. But I think I don't even know what to say about this, man. Like, I've talked about it a million times at this point. He's already had an interview with the Jags. He's already had an interview with the Saints. I just don't think the only job that he could possibly get really fast is this Cowboys head coaching job. Okay? And we know where this is going to lead to. This is going to lead to him leaving. The Eagles are back to square one. And Jalen Hurts is going to need to learn a new offense yet again. This man needs a consistent somebody behind him that is going to just get him better and better every single year. To switch from a new offensive coordinator every year, it's just insane at this point. We've talked about it a million times. You know what I mean? It's like then what happens then? So if Kellen Moore is going to leave, then what happens? Like the Eagles can't get the best coordinator that's out there, or at least try to get the best one that's out there. The only good thing about the Eagles getting a new coach, if Kellen Moore does leave, is that this should be an attractive space for guys that maybe want to come here because of the talent that's already on offense already. Realistically, because there's not much leaving from your offense besides signing, a couple free agents, a free agent, and Mekhi Becton and Gainwell's leaving, and Fred Johnson, I think, his contract expired. Other than that, your offense is pretty much set. Jahan Dotson's still here. Obviously, you have your 2 number 1 receivers. You're pretty much good. Dallas Goedert's got another year or 2 left on his contract. You're pretty much still good right now when it comes to, what you have in this offense. But at the end of the day, I don't know where this is going. I have no answers for this. Cowboys are late in the process anyway. They kind of missed the window now. So now they can't even get interviews because of whoever's in the playoffs right now. They can't interview at this point. They had their little window that they totally missed. The Mike McCarthy thing didn't work out because I think he would have been the head coach again, but there was a difference on length of contract. Apparently, it was a length of contract issue. So maybe Mike McCarthy wanted to be there less or longer, or I don't know. Probably shorter. I'm not really sure, but that's what I heard through the grapevine of why Mike McCarthy parted ways, and not on a bad note at all. It wasn't a fight or anything like that. It was just a little bit on the contract side of how long he's going to be there for. Mike McCarthy has interest from the Bears right now, for interview with them. But, Kellen Moore leaving is going to be the biggest, probably one of the biggest, again, it's going to be one of those, situations of a different coordinator. I'm just ranting at this point. I'm just talking on this video, ranting, because this is how I feel, man. I'm just going back and forth. I'm like, well, Hurts got to deal with a new coordinator. Nick's got to have a good relationship with another coordinator, fuse both of the schemes together, the same stuff we've been doing. But this is just going back to square one, like yet again, man. I just knew. Then Hurts has got to learn the coordinator's new terminology. Like you think, like a coordinator comes in and it's that easy. It's not, because the quarterback's got to learn. Everything is taught differently at times. Things are similar. Terminology is just different. And that's really it. I don't know what's going to happen with the Dallas Cowboys. If Dallas Cowboys hire somebody else for their head coaching position, I ultimately believe that Kellen Moore could stay here for another year. I'm hoping to God he does, okay? But then, I would like someone to be here for at least 3 years. At least 3. If the Eagles are successful, great. They seem to be successful under Kellen Moore, so that's great. I need someone to stay here for another 2 years. Like, Fangio is old. He's been a head coach. He doesn't want to do it anymore. This was his landing spot. He should have been here last year with the Gannon situation and all that happened. He had to leave because he thought Gannon was pretty much going to take the job. Never happened, so he stayed in Philadelphia now, and he'll be here until he probably retires in a few years or whatever it's going to be. But the Kellen Moore situation, man, I just think there are a lot more intriguing coordinators over him, which I think we could take advantage of that situation. That Kellen Moore won't get any other jobs if he doesn't get the Cowboys job. And that's where I'm at. Until we find out, we'll find out more the next few weeks. What's promising, what's not, and hoping to God that he stays in Philadelphia and the Eagles just throw a lot more towards his salary. That's really what it's going to take with this situation here in Philly. So, other than that, that's pretty much it. How do you guys feel about Zach Bond as the green dot? How do you guys feel about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and what Fangio had to say about him? Leave a comment in the comment section below. And how do you guys feel about Kellen Moore going to the Cowboys? Do you think it's actually going to happen going forward, or do you think the Eagles might have a chance to keep him for another year? But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you like the video because it helps out the channel out so much. And make sure you subscribe because we cover the Eagles every single day. You guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes going up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.